Long before telescopes or satellites, ancient civilizations gazed at the night sky and saw far more than twinkling lights. They saw a vast, interconnected map, a celestial guidebook that held the secrets of time, direction, and even destiny. But what if I told you that their star maps went far beyond the zodiac, revealing a cosmic language that shaped the very foundations of culture, exploration, and science? Today, we're diving into the ancient art of star mapping, a practice that not only guided travelers across uncharted lands, but also connected humanity to the mysteries of the universe in ways we're only beginning to understand. By the end of this journey, you'll see the stars not just as distant specks of light, but as a living, breathing map that has influenced civilizations for thousands of years. So let's step back in time and uncover the stories written in the sky. Long before telescopes or modern technology, our ancestors looked up at the night sky and saw more than just scattered lights. They saw a guide, a calendar, and a connection to the divine. The earliest known star maps date back to ancient Mesopotamia and Egypt, where the heavens were meticulously studied and recorded. In Mesopotamia, around 3,000 years before the Common Era, clay tablets were inscribed with star patterns that served as celestial blueprints. These early maps weren't just decorative, they were practical tools. Farmers relied on the rising and setting of specific stars to determine the best times for planting and harvesting, aligning their agricultural rhythms with the cosmos. In Egypt, the stars played an equally vital role in daily life. The annual flooding of the Nile, a lifeline for their civilization, was predicted by the appearance of the star Sirius in the pre-dawn sky. This celestial event, known as the Heliacal Rising, marked the beginning of their new year and was deeply intertwined with their religious practices. Temples were often aligned with specific stars, and priests used these alignments to perform rituals that they believed connected them to the gods. But star mapping wasn't just about survival or spirituality, it was also about timekeeping. Ancient astronomers divided the night sky into recognizable constellations, creating a celestial clock that tracked the passage of seasons and years. These early observations laid the groundwork for more sophisticated systems, as later civilizations built upon this knowledge to refine their understanding of the cosmos. What began as simple charts etched into clay or painted on temple walls would eventually evolve into the intricate star maps we know today, setting the stage for centuries of astronomical discovery. Beyond the familiar 12 constellations of the zodiac lies a vast, untapped tapestry of stars' patterns and formations that ancient cultures saw as equally significant, though often overlooked in modern times. These lesser-known constellations, hidden in the shadows of the zodiac's fame, carry their own stories, myths, and meanings, offering us a deeper glimpse into how our ancestors interpreted the heavens. Take, for example, the constellation of Ophiuchus, the serpent-bearer. While not part of the traditional zodiac, Ophiuchus has roots that stretch back to ancient Greek and Babylonian astronomy. The figure was often associated with healing and wisdom, embodying the story of Asclepius, the god of medicine, who was said to have learned the secrets of life and death from a serpent. Despite its rich mythology, Ophiuchus was excluded from the zodiac, perhaps because it didn't fit neatly into the 12-part system that aligned with the 12 lunar cycles of the year. But Ophiuchus is just one of many. Cultures around the world have identified their own constellations, each with unique tales. The indigenous peoples of Australia, for instance, saw the dark spaces between the stars, what we now call dark constellations, as emu spirits or celestial rivers. These interpretations remind us that the night sky was not just a map of light, but also a canvas for the imagination, where both the stars and the spaces between them held meaning. Why were these constellations overshadowed by the zodiac? part of the answer lies in practicality. The zodiac's 12 constellations aligned with the sun's annual path across the sky, making them essential for tracking time, seasons, and agricultural cycles. They became a universal framework, a shared language for civilizations from Mesopotamia to the Mediterranean. Meanwhile, the other constellations, though equally fascinating, were often tied to local stories or specific cultural contexts, making them less widely recognized. Yet, these hidden stars offer something the zodiac cannot, a reminder of how diverse and personal our connection to the cosmos can be. They invite us to look beyond the familiar and explore the stories that different cultures have written in the stars. By doing so, we not only enrich our understanding of the night sky, but also gain a deeper appreciation for the ways in which humans have always sought to find meaning in the vastness above. Ancient mariners didn't have the luxury of GPS or modern navigation tools, yet they managed to cross vast oceans with astonishing precision. How did they do it? The answer lies in the stars. Star mapping wasn't just a scientific endeavor for these early explorers. It was a lifeline, a way to chart courses across uncharted waters. One of the most remarkable examples of this comes from the Polynesian wayfinders, who mastered the art of celestial navigation long before the compass or sextant was invented. Picture this, the vast expanse of the Pacific Ocean stretching endlessly in every direction. To the untrained eye, it's a daunting, featureless void. But to the Polynesian navigators, it was a roadmap written in the sky. They used star path-specific sequences of stars that rose and set in predictable patterns to guide their voyages. By memorizing the positions of key stars and constellations, they could determine their direction and even estimate their latitude. It was a system so precise that they could navigate thousands of miles between islands, often with nothing but the heavens as their guide. Central to their success was the star compass, a mental map that divided the horizon into sections based on the rising and setting points of stars. Unlike a physical compass, this tool wasn't something they carried, it was something they carried in their minds. Each star or constellation corresponded to a specific direction, and by tracking these markers, they could maintain their course even on the darkest nights. But it wasn't just about knowing where the stars were, it was about understanding their movements, the subtle shifts that signaled changes in time and location. What's truly fascinating is how this knowledge was preserved. Polynesian navigators didn't write down their star maps or techniques. Instead, they passed this wisdom down orally from one generation to the next. Young navigators trained for years, learning not just the stars but also the rhythms of the ocean, the behavior of birds, and even the patterns of waves. It was a holistic approach, blending celestial observation with environmental cues to create a navigation system that was both art and science, and it worked. Polynesian voyagers settled islands scattered across millions of square miles of ocean, from Hawaii to New Zealand to Easter Island. Their achievements stand as a testament to the power of human ingenuity and the enduring relationship between people and the stars. It's a story that reminds us how much we can learn from the past and how the night sky, far from being just a backdrop, was once a vital tool for exploration and discovery. For thousands of years, the night sky wasn't just a map of stars, it was a canvas for storytelling. Ancient cultures looked up and saw more than points of light. They saw gods, heroes, and mythical creatures etched across the heavens. These celestial patterns weren't random, they were carefully woven into myths that defined entire civilizations. Take the Greeks, for example. When they gazed at the constellation Orion, they didn't just see a hunter. They saw a tale of hubris, love, and fate, a reminder of the consequences of defying the gods. And for the Egyptians, the star Sirius wasn't just a bright light. It was the herald of the Nile's flooding, a sign of renewal and life. But this wasn't unique to the Mediterranean. Across the globe, from the deserts of Australia to the plains of North America, indigenous peoples saw their own stories in the stars. The Aboriginal Australians, for instance, connected the dark patches of the Milky Way to the emu in the sky, a story that guided their hunting seasons and traditions. These star maps weren't just decorative, they were living guides, teaching moral lessons, preserving history, and reinforcing cultural identity. They were a way for people to find their place, not just on Earth, but in the vast, mysterious cosmos. What's fascinating is how these myths transcended time and geography, yet each culture interpreted the stars in a way that reflected their own values and beliefs. The constellation we call the Big Dipper, for example, was seen by the ancient Chinese as the chariot of the celestial emperor, while the Norse saw it as the wagon of the god Odin. These interpretations weren't just about the stars themselves. They were about the people who looked up at them, their fears, their hopes, and their understanding of the world. So, the next time you look up at the night sky, remember that you're not just seeing stars, you're looking at the stories of humanity. These myths are more than just tales, they're a testament to how we've always sought meaning in the cosmos, using the stars to navigate not just the physical world, but the very essence of what it means to be human. What if I told you that ancient star maps, crafted thousands of years ago, rival the precision of modern astronomical charts? It's a staggering thought, especially when you consider the tools, or lack thereof, that ancient astronomers had at their disposal. Unlike today, where we rely on telescopes, satellites, and powerful computers, these early stargazers used nothing more than their eyes, simple instruments, and an extraordinary understanding of the night sky. So, how did they do it, and just how accurate were these ancient star maps? Let's start with the basics. Ancient star maps weren't just decorative, they were practical tools for navigation, agriculture, and even religious ceremonies. Civilizations like the Babylonians, Greeks, and Chinese meticulously recorded the positions of stars, planets, and constellations. What's remarkable is that many of these ancient charts align almost perfectly with modern star maps. For example, the Dendera Zodiac, an ancient Egyptian star map, accurately depicts constellations like Orion and Taurus, matching their positions as we know them today. Similarly, the Chinese star charts from the Han Dynasty include detailed records of celestial events such as supernovas that modern astronomers have since verified. But how did they achieve this level of accuracy? The answer lies in their incredible observational skills and mathematical ingenuity. Ancient astronomers spent years, sometimes decades, tracking the movements of celestial bodies. They used simple tools like the gnomon, a stick that casts a shadow, to measure the sun's position, and the astrolabe, a device for calculating the angles of stars. By combining these observations with sophisticated mathematics, they were able to predict planetary motions and map the stars with astonishing precision. Take the Greeks, for instance. They used geometry to calculate the distances between stars and even theorized the Earth's spherical shape centuries before it became widely accepted. What's equally fascinating is how these ancient techniques laid the groundwork for modern astronomy. The methods they developed, like dividing the sky into constellations and creating coordinate systems, are still in use today. In fact, many of the constellation names we know, like Ursa Major and Cassiopeia, originated from these early star maps. It's a testament to their enduring legacy that we still look to the same stars they mapped thousands of years ago. So, the next time you gaze up at the night sky, remember, those stars were mapped long before the invention of telescopes or satellites. Ancient astronomers didn't just look at the stars, they studied them, measured them, and left behind a celestial roadmap that continues to guide us even now. Their work is a reminder of how much can be achieved with curiosity, patience, and a deep respect for the cosmos. Have you ever wondered how the stars above influenced the very ground beneath ancient civilizations? It's fascinating to think that the night sky wasn't just a source of wonder, it was a blueprint. Ancient architects looked to the heavens for inspiration, weaving celestial patterns into their most iconic structures. These buildings weren't just feats of engineering, they were cosmic maps designed to mirror the stars and connect the earthly with the divine. Take the Great Pyramid of Giza, for example. This colossal structure, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, isn't just a marvel of geometry, it's a celestial time capsule. Historians and astronomers have long noted that the 3 main pyramids align perfectly with the 3 stars of Orion's belt. This isn't a coincidence. For the ancient Egyptians, Orion was associated with Osiris, the god of the afterlife. By aligning the pyramids with these stars, they created a symbolic bridge between the pharaoh's tombs and the realm of the gods. It's as if the pyramids were a stairway to the heavens, guiding the souls of the departed to their eternal resting place among the stars. But the connection doesn't stop there. The pyramid's air shafts are precisely angled to point towards specific stars, like Sirius, the brightest star in the night sky. Sirius held immense significance for the Egyptians, as its annual rising coincided with the flooding of the Nile, a life-giving event that marked the beginning of their calendar year. The pyramid's design wasn't just about honoring the gods, it was a practical observatory, a tool for tracking time and predicting the seasons. Now, let's travel across the globe to Stonehenge, a mysterious circle of massive stones standing in the English countryside. While its exact purpose remains debated, one thing is clear: Stonehenge is deeply connected to the cosmos. The monument's alignment with the summer and winter solstices suggests that it served as a celestial calendar. On the longest and shortest days of the year, the rising and setting sun lines up perfectly with specific stones, casting dramatic shadows and illuminating the site in ways that ancient builders likely planned with precision. But Stonehenge isn't just about the sun. Some researchers believe its layout mirrors patterns in the night sky, possibly reflecting constellations or lunar cycles. For the people who built it, this connection to the stars would have been both practical and spiritual. It allowed them to mark the passage of time, predict agricultural cycles, and perhaps even commune with the gods who ruled the heavens. In a world without clocks or calendars, the sky was their guide, and Stonehenge was their compass. What's remarkable about these ancient structures is how they blend the practical with the profound. They weren't just observatories or temples, they were expressions of humanity's desire to understand the universe and our place within it. By embedding star maps into their architecture, ancient civilizations created a dialogue between the earth and the sky, a conversation that continues to captivate us thousands of years later. So the next time you look at a pyramid or a stone circle, remember, you're not just seeing a monument, you're looking at a map of the stars, a testament to the timeless connection between humanity and the cosmos. Long before modern clocks and digital calendars, ancient civilizations turned their gaze upward to the stars, using the heavens as a guide to measure time. One of the most fascinating applications of star mapping was its role in creating calendars tools that not only tracked days and seasons but also held deep cultural and spiritual significance. These ancient calendars were far more than mere tools. They were intricate systems woven into the fabric of daily life, agriculture, and even governance. Take the Mayan long count calendar, for instance. This system, developed by the Maya civilization of Mesoamerica, was a masterpiece of celestial observation. Unlike our modern Gregorian calendar, the long count was designed to track vast cycles of time, spanning thousands of years. It was deeply tied to astronomical events, such as the movements of Venus and the Sun, which the Maya believed held prophetic importance. They used their star maps to predict eclipses, solstices, and equinoxes, aligning their rituals and agricultural cycles with these celestial rhythms. The precision of their calculations is staggering. especially when you consider they achieved this without the aid of telescopes or advanced instruments. Similarly, the Chinese lunar calendar offers another brilliant example of star mapping in action. For thousands of years, Chinese astronomers meticulously recorded the positions of the moon, stars, and planets to create a calendar that harmonized with both the lunar and solar cycles. This dual approach allowed them to mark not only the phases of the moon but also the changing seasons, which were crucial for farming and festivals. Key celestial events like the winter solstice were celebrated as moments of cosmic balance, reflecting the deep connection between the heavens and earthly life. The Chinese calendar also incorporated the concept of the lunar mansions, a system of star groupings used to track the moon's path across the sky, a testament to their sophisticated understanding of the night. Then there's the Egyptian solar calendar, one of the earliest known attempts to align timekeeping with the sun's journey. The Egyptians relied heavily on the star Sirius, which they called Sopdet. Every year, the heliacal rising of Sirius, when the star first becomes visible just before dawn, coincided with the annual flooding of the Nile. This event was so critical to their agricultural cycle that it marked the beginning of their new year. By mapping the stars and observing these celestial patterns, the Egyptians created a calendar that not only predicted the flooding but also guided their religious ceremonies and daily activities. What's truly remarkable about these ancient calendars is how they reveal the universal human desire to understand and connect with the cosmos. Whether it was the Maya tracking Venus, the Chinese observing the moon, or the Egyptians waiting for Sirius, each civilization used star maps to create systems that were deeply intertwined with their environment, culture, and beliefs. These calendars weren't just about marking time, they were about finding meaning in the stars, and in doing so, they left us a legacy that continues to inspire awe and wonder today. Among the countless mysteries left behind by ancient civilizations, few are as captivating as their star maps, celestial guides etched into the fabric of their cultures. While many are familiar with the zodiac or the star charts of the Greeks and Egyptians, there's a whole world of lesser-known star maps waiting to be explored. These forgotten maps, crafted by cultures like the Indus Valley Civilization and the Aboriginal Australians, offer us a glimpse into how different societies understood the cosmos. But piecing together their stories isn't always straightforward. Take the Indus Valley Civilization, for example, flourishing over 4,000 years ago in what is now modern-day Pakistan and northwest India. This advanced society left behind remarkable artifacts, intricate seals, sprawling cities, and even what some scholars believe to be star maps. One of the most intriguing finds is a series of symbols and geometric patterns that seem to align with celestial events. But here's the challenge: the Indus script remains undeciphered. Without a Rosetta Stone to unlock their language, we're left to interpret these patterns through the lens of astronomy and archaeology. Could these symbols represent constellations? Or were they part of a larger ritual tied to the stars? The answers remain hidden, waiting for the next breakthrough. Then there are the star maps of the Aboriginal Australians, some of the oldest continuous cultures on Earth. For tens of thousands of years, Aboriginal communities have passed down oral traditions that map the night sky in ways that are profoundly different from Western astronomy. Instead of focusing on individual stars or constellations, they often see the sky as a vast tapestry of interconnected stories of creation, ancestors, and the natural world. For instance, the emu in the sky isn't just a pattern of dark spaces between stars. It's a living narrative tied to the land and the seasons. These maps aren't just about navigation. They're about understanding the universe as a living, breathing entity. But interpreting these star maps comes with its own set of challenges. Much of this knowledge was preserved orally, passed down through generations in songs, dances, and ceremonies. With the disruption of colonial impacts, some of these traditions have been lost or fragmented. Today, researchers work closely with Aboriginal elders to piece together these celestial stories, ensuring they're preserved for future generations. It's a delicate process, one that requires respect for the culture and a deep understanding of its nuances. What makes these star maps so fascinating is how they challenge our modern perspective. They remind us that the night sky isn't just a scientific tool or a collection of stars. It's a canvas for storytelling, a way to connect with the past, and a bridge between cultures. Whether it's the enigmatic symbols of the Indus Valley or the living narratives of Aboriginal Australians, these maps invite us to see the cosmos through new eyes. And as we continue to uncover their secrets, we're not just learning about the stars, we're rediscovering the diverse ways humanity has sought to understand its place in the universe. As we explore the intricate dance of the stars above, it's impossible to ignore the profound connection between star mapping and the ancient practice of astrology. For centuries, humanity has looked to the heavens not just to navigate the physical world, but to seek meaning in the patterns of the cosmos. Ancient astrologers were, in many ways, the original stargazers, meticulously charting the movements of celestial bodies and weaving those observations into a tapestry of predictions and interpretations about human lives and destinies. Star maps, with their precise plotting of stars and constellations, served as the foundational tool for these early astrologers. They believed that the positions of the planets and stars at the moment of a person's birth could influence their personality, relationships, and even their future. By studying these celestial alignments, astrologers crafted detailed readings, offering guidance and insight into the mysteries of life. It's fascinating to think that these ancient star maps, which we now associate with navigation and astronomy, were once the backbone of a deeply spiritual and symbolic practice. But here's where things get interesting. While astrology and astronomy share a common origin in the observation of the night sky, they diverged over time into distinct disciplines. Astronomy, as we know it today, is the scientific study of celestial objects and phenomena, grounded in observation, measurement, and evidence. Astrology, on the other hand, remains rooted in symbolism and interpretation, focusing on the perceived influence of celestial bodies on human affairs. Yet, in ancient times, these two fields were deeply intertwined. Early astronomers often doubled as astrologers, using their knowledge of the stars to serve both scientific and spiritual purposes. This coexistence reveals a unique duality in how our ancestors viewed the cosmos. On one hand, they sought to understand the mechanics of the universe, tracking the cycles of the moon, the rising and setting of stars, and the paths of planets. On the other hand, they saw the heavens as a mirror reflecting the human experience, a celestial stage where the drama of life played out. It's a perspective that reminds us of the deep connection early cultures felt to the sky above, blending the practical with the mystical in ways that still captivate us today. So, the next time you gaze up at the stars, consider this. Those ancient star maps weren't just tools for navigation or scientific inquiry. They were also portals to a world of meaning, where the cosmos held the keys to understanding ourselves and our place in the universe. And while the paths of astronomy and astrology have since diverged, their shared history offers a powerful reminder of how our ancestors sought to bridge the gap between the seen and the unseen, the known and the unknowable. Ancient astronomers didn't just gaze at the stars, they crafted intricate tools to measure, map, and understand the heavens. One of the most remarkable instruments they developed was the astrolabe. Picture a beautifully engraved disc, often made of brass or wood, with rotating parts that allowed users to calculate the positions of stars and planets. The astrolabe wasn't just a scientific tool, it was a work of art combining mathematics, astronomy, and craftsmanship. By aligning its moving parts with the night sky, ancient stargazers could determine everything from the time of night to the altitude of celestial bodies. It was like having a portable planetarium in the palm of your hand. Another fascinating device was the armillary sphere. Imagine a series of rings, each representing a different celestial circle like the equator, the ecliptic, and the horizon, all nested together to form a spherical model of the cosmos. These spheres weren't just decorative, they were practical tools for teaching and understanding the movements of the heavens. Scholars like Ptolemy used them to demonstrate the apparent motions of the stars and planets, helping to visualize complex astronomical concepts. The armillary sphere became a symbol of human curiosity, a tangible representation of our desire to map the universe. Then there were the merkits, a simple yet ingenious tool used by the ancient Egyptians. These were essentially weighted strings or plumb lines, often paired with a sighting tool, to measure the alignment of stars with the horizon. By observing the stars as they rose and set, Egyptian astronomers could create precise star maps and even align their massive pyramids with celestial events. The merkits show us that even the most basic tools, when used with skill and precision, could unlock profound insights into the cosmos. What's truly remarkable about these tools is how they reflect the ingenuity of their creators. Without telescopes or computers, ancient astronomers relied on their ability to observe, calculate, and innovate. These instruments weren't just about mapping the stars, they were about understanding humanity's place in the universe. And as we look back at these artifacts, we're reminded that the night sky has always been a source of wonder, inspiring us to reach beyond what we can see and explore the mysteries of the cosmos. Ancient civilizations didn't just look to the stars for navigation or timekeeping, they immortalized them in their art and literature, weaving the cosmos into the very fabric of their cultures. Take, for instance, the Non-Zodiac, a stunning bas-relief from the ceiling of an Egyptian temple. This intricate star map, dating back to the 1st century BC, isn't just a depiction of constellations, it's a window into how the ancient Egyptians saw their gods and the universe intertwined. Each figure on the Non-Zodiac carries symbolic meaning, tying celestial patterns to their mythology and daily lives. It's a reminder that the stars weren't just points of light in the sky, they were stories, lessons, and divine messages etched in stone. Moving from stone to scroll, the ancient Greeks also painted the stars in vivid literary strokes. Homer's Odyssey, one of the oldest surviving works of Western literature, is rich with celestial imagery. When Odysseus sails home, he navigates not just by the sea but by the stars, guided by the Pleiades and the Great Bear. These references aren't just poetic flourishes, they reveal how deeply the Greeks understood the night sky as both a practical tool and a source of inspiration. The stars in the Odyssey aren't just markers of direction, they're symbols of destiny, endurance, and the human connection to something greater than ourselves. These ancient depictions of star maps, whether carved into temple ceilings or woven into epic poetry, show us something profound. The stars were more than just a scientific tool. They were a cultural compass guiding how people understood their place in the universe. From the Egyptians to the Greeks, the night sky was a canvas for storytelling, spirituality, and survival. And as we explore these ancient works today, we're not just uncovering star maps, we're decoding the dreams and beliefs of civilizations long gone. In the shadows of ancient civilizations, where the stars were both a map and a mystery, women played a profound yet often unrecognized role in the art of star mapping. While history often highlights male astronomers, the contributions of women like Hypatia of Alexandria and Enheduanna of Sumer reveal a rich tapestry of female ingenuity and insight in the realm of celestial observation. These women not only studied the heavens but also shaped how their societies understood the cosmos. Take Hypatia of Alexandria, for instance. Born in the 4th century, she was a mathematician, philosopher, and astronomer who made groundbreaking strides in understanding planetary motion and celestial mechanics. Her work on the astrolabe, a tool used to chart stars and predict their movements, was revolutionary, but Hypatia's influence extended beyond her technical achievements. She was a teacher, a mentor, and a symbol of intellectual freedom in a time when women's voices were often silenced. Her legacy reminds us that the stars were not just a man's domain, they were a canvas for anyone with the curiosity and courage to look up. Even earlier in ancient Sumer, we find Enheduanna, a high priestess and astronomer who lived around 2300 BCE. She is one of the earliest recorded figures in history to combine religious authority with astronomical knowledge. Enheduanna's hymns and writings not only honored the gods but also documented celestial events, linking the movements of the stars to the rhythms of life on Earth. Her work laid the foundation for the Babylonian star catalogues that would follow, proving that women were at the forefront of early astronomical discoveries. These women didn't just observe the stars, they wove them into the fabric of their cultures. In societies where the heavens were seen as divine, their interpretations of celestial patterns carried immense weight. They influenced everything from religious practices to agricultural cycles, proving that star mapping was as much about understanding humanity as it was about charting the skies. Their stories challenged the notion that ancient astronomy was a male-dominated field, offering a glimpse into a world where women's contributions were vital, even if they weren't always celebrated. What's remarkable is how their work transcended their time. Hypatia's teachings inspired generations of scholars, while Enheduanna's hymns became a cornerstone of Mesopotamian culture. Their legacies remind us that the stars have always been a universal language, one that women have spoken fluently for millennia. By uncovering their stories, we not only honor their achievements but also gain a deeper appreciation for the diverse voices that shaped our understanding of the cosmos. As the centuries rolled on, the once thriving practice of ancient star mapping began to fade into obscurity. The meticulous records of celestial movements, painstakingly charted by civilizations like the Babylonians, Greeks, and Chinese, were gradually lost or forgotten. Wars, the fall of empires, and shifting cultural priorities all played a role in this decline. Libraries burned, scrolls crumbled, and the knowledge of the stars was buried beneath the sands of time. But just as stars themselves are eternal, the wisdom of the ancients refused to vanish completely. Fast forward to the Renaissance, a period of rediscovery and rebirth. Scholars, artists, and scientists began to look back to the ancient world for inspiration, unearthing long-lost texts and maps. Among these rediscovered treasures were the star charts of antiquity. Figures like Nicolaus Copernicus and Galileo Galilei took these ancient maps and used them as a foundation to challenge the prevailing views of their time. Copernicus, for instance, studied the works of Greek astronomers and built upon their observations to propose a heliocentric model of the solar system, a revolutionary idea that shifted humanity's understanding of the cosmos. Galileo, armed with his telescope, confirmed these theories by observing the moons of Jupiter and the phases of Venus, further cementing the importance of ancient star mapping as a cornerstone of modern astronomy. But why does this rediscovery matter today? These ancient maps are more than just historical artifacts. They are a testament to humanity's enduring curiosity about the universe. They remind us that our ancestors, despite lacking modern technology, achieved remarkable feats of observation and calculation. Preserving these maps isn't just about honoring the past, it's about inspiring future generations to look up at the night sky with the same sense of wonder and determination. Today, efforts to digitize and study these ancient star charts are helping us uncover even more secrets. By comparing them with modern astronomical data, researchers are gaining new insights into how ancient civilizations perceived the cosmos. These maps are a bridge across time, connecting us to the minds of those who first sought to map the heavens. And as we continue to explore the stars, we stand on the shoulders of giants both ancient and modern who dared to dream of understanding the universe. Long before modern telescopes and star charts, indigenous cultures around the world were mapping the heavens in ways that were deeply intertwined with their daily lives, spiritual beliefs, and survival. The Navajo, for instance, saw the night sky as a living tapestry where constellations like the first man and first woman reflected their creation stories. These celestial patterns weren't just abstract shapes, they were guides, offering wisdom and direction. The Navajo used the stars to mark the changing seasons, timing their planting and harvesting to the movements of the cosmos. But it wasn't just about practicality. For them, the stars were a bridge to the divine, a way to connect with their ancestors and the spiritual forces that shaped their world. On the other side of the globe, the Maori of New Zealand looked to the stars as both navigators and storytellers. Their star maps were more than tools for travel. They were a living library of cultural memory. The constellation Matariki, known as the Pleiades, signaled the Maori New Year, a time of renewal and remembrance. When Matariki rose in the pre-dawn sky, it was a call to gather, to celebrate, and to honor those who had passed. The stars also guided their legendary sea voyages across the vast Pacific Ocean, serving as celestial waypoints that helped them traverse thousands of miles of open water with astonishing precision. Meanwhile, in the Arctic, the Inuit relied on the stars to navigate the frozen landscapes they called home. In a world where the sun might not rise for months, the night sky became their compass. They named constellations like Quaterjuk, which included the stars of Orion and Sirius, and used these patterns to track time and direction, but their celestial knowledge went even deeper. The Inuit saw the stars as part of a larger cosmic order, one that connected the physical and spiritual realms. Their star maps were not just practical tools, they were a way to understand their place in the universe, a reminder of the balance between humans, nature, and the unseen forces that govern their lives. What's truly remarkable about these indigenous star maps is how they reflect a profound understanding of the cosmos, one that goes far beyond mere observation. These cultures didn't just see stars, they saw stories, relationships, and meanings that shaped their identities and their worldviews. And yet, much of this knowledge is at risk of being lost. As modern technology advances, the traditional ways of understanding the stars are fading, often overshadowed by more scientific approaches. But preserving this wisdom isn't just about honoring the past, it's about recognizing the value of diverse perspectives. Indigenous star maps remind us that there's more than one way to see the sky, and that each culture has something unique to teach us about the universe and our place within it. But how did ancient civilizations, without the tools we take for granted, create star maps of such jaw-dropping precision? This question has puzzled historians and astronomers alike for centuries. One leading theory points to the incredible dedication of ancient astronomers. These early stargazers spent countless nights under open skies, meticulously tracking the movements of celestial bodies. Over generations, they compiled detailed records, passing down their knowledge through oral traditions and later written texts. This patient, painstaking process allowed them to map the stars with astonishing accuracy, even by today's standards. Another fascinating theory suggests that ancient cultures might have used advanced, yet now lost, technologies. For example, some researchers propose that devices like the Antikythera mechanism, a complex ancient Greek analog computer, could have aided in celestial calculations. While no direct evidence links such devices to star maps, the possibility sparks intrigue. Could other tools, now forgotten by history, have played a role in their precise mapping? And then there's the more controversial angle, extraterrestrial influence. Some theorists argue that the precision of ancient star maps defies explanation without outside help. They point to ancient myths and texts that describe sky gods or beings descending from the stars, suggesting these could be interpreted as encounters with advanced extraterrestrial visitors. While mainstream scholars remain skeptical, the idea continues to capture imaginations, fueling debates about humanity's connection to the cosmos. The evidence itself is a mix of the concrete and the enigmatic. Ancient star maps like the Dendera zodiac from Egypt or the Babylonian star catalogues show a level of detail that rivals modern charts, yet their methods remain shrouded in mystery. Did they rely solely on human ingenuity, or was there something or someone else guiding their hands? As we piece together fragments of the past, the question lingers, reminding us how much we still have to learn about the skies above and the people who first dared to map them. But what if the ancient star maps we've been exploring hold more than just a record of celestial movements? What if they could offer clues to one of humanity's most profound questions? Are we alone in the universe? It's a question that has fascinated us for centuries, and today, modern scientists are turning to these ancient records for insights into the search for extraterrestrial life. Ancient civilizations often viewed the stars as more than just lights in the sky. They saw them as markers of something greater, gateways to understanding the cosmos and perhaps even the existence of life beyond Earth. Take, for example, the Dogon people of Mali, who centuries ago possessed detailed knowledge of the Sirius star system, including its companion star Sirius B, a fact that wasn't confirmed by modern astronomy until the 19th century. How did they know this? Some speculate it was through observation and meticulous record-keeping, while others suggested hints at something far more mysterious. Could these ancient star maps have been influenced by knowledge passed down from an advanced civilization, or even extraterrestrial contact? Fast forward to today, and scientists are using these ancient records in surprising ways. By studying the positions of stars and planets as they were charted thousands of years ago, researchers can trace the movement of celestial bodies over time. This helps them identify stable star systems, places where planets might have had the right conditions for life to flourish over billions of years. For instance, by cross-referencing ancient star maps with modern exoplanet data, astronomers have identified potential Goldilocks zones, regions around stars where conditions are just right for liquid water, a key ingredient for life as we know it. What's truly fascinating is how this ancient wisdom intersects with cutting-edge science. Modern telescopes like the James Webb Space Telescope are now scanning the skies for biosignatures, chemical signs of life on distant planets. But the groundwork for this search was laid long ago by cultures that looked up at the night sky and saw not just patterns but possibilities. The ancient Greeks, for example, theorized the existence of other worlds, while the Babylonians meticulously tracked planetary movements, creating some of the earliest predictive models of the cosmos. These efforts weren't just about navigation or timekeeping, they were about understanding our place in the universe. And here's the kicker: some researchers believe that ancient star maps might even hold coded information about the origins of life itself. The idea is that these maps could have served as a kind of cosmic library, preserving knowledge about the conditions that led to life on Earth and potentially elsewhere. By decoding these ancient records, we might uncover clues about how life begins, evolves, and sustains itself across the universe. So, what does this mean for the search for extraterrestrial life? It means that the past and the present are more connected than we might think. The same stars that guided ancient sailors and inspired myths are now guiding scientists in their quest to answer one of humanity's oldest questions. And as we continue to explore the cosmos, we might just find that the answers we're looking for have been written in the stars all along, waiting for us to decode them. This fusion of ancient knowledge and modern technology is a reminder that the search for extraterrestrial life isn't just about looking outward, it's also about looking back. By honoring the wisdom of those who came before us, we're not just exploring the universe, we're rediscovering our own place within it. For ancient civilizations, the stars were far more than just distant points of light in the night sky. They were the very fabric of their cultural identity. Star mapping wasn't just a scientific endeavor, it was a profound expression of how these societies saw themselves and their place in the cosmos. From the Babylonians to the Maya, the stars served as a mirror, reflecting their deepest values, beliefs, and aspirations. Take the ancient Egyptians, for example. Their star maps weren't merely tools for navigation or agriculture. They were sacred blueprints that connected the earthly realm to the divine. The alignment of the pyramids with specific stars like Sirius wasn't just an architectural feat, it was a statement of their faith in an eternal afterlife guided by the heavens. The stars, in their view, were the pathways for their pharaohs to ascend and join the gods. This celestial connection wasn't just about individual glory, it was about the collective destiny of their entire civilization. The stars united them, giving them a shared purpose and a sense of continuity that stretched across generations. Similarly, in Mesopotamia, the stars were seen as messages from the gods offering guidance and warnings. The Babylonians meticulously recorded the movements of celestial bodies, believing that these patterns held the keys to understanding the will of the divine. Their star maps were more than scientific records, they were spiritual texts filled with omens and prophecies that shaped their decisions, from when to plant crops to when to wage war. The stars, in this context, became a unifying force, a common language that bound the community together under a shared worldview. But star mapping didn't just reflect beliefs, it also shaped them. For the Polynesians, the stars were essential navigational tools, guiding their voyages across vast oceans. But they were also storytellers, carrying the legends of their ancestors and the wisdom of their culture. Each constellation held a tale, a lesson, or a moral passed down through generations. This oral tradition, intertwined with star mapping, wasn't just about survival. It was about preserving their identity and ensuring their stories lived on, even as they ventured into uncharted waters. What's truly remarkable is how these ancient star maps transcended borders and time, becoming a universal language of human experience. Whether it was the Chinese using the stars to map the emperor's mandate of heaven or the Inca aligning their cities with the Milky Way, the stars were a bridge between the earthly and the eternal. They weren't just maps of the sky, they were maps of the human soul, revealing how these civilizations grappled with questions of existence, purpose, and connection. In many ways, star mapping was the ultimate act of storytelling, a way for ancient peoples to weave their hopes, fears, and dreams into the very fabric of the cosmos. And as we look back at these celestial records today, we're reminded that the stars have always been more than just points of light. They've been a reflection of who we are and who we aspire to be. As we venture further into the mysteries of ancient star mapping, let's turn our gaze to the battlefield, a place where the stars played a surprising and decisive role. Imagine for a moment the chaos of war, armies clashing, dust rising, and the fate of nations hanging in the balance. Yet, amidst the turmoil, some of history's greatest commanders looked not just to the earth but to the heavens for guidance. Star maps weren't just tools for navigation or myth-making. They were instruments of strategy, offering an edge that could mean the difference between victory and defeat. Take, for example, the legendary Battle of Gaugamela in 331 BC, where Alexander the Great faced the Persian Empire in a clash that would reshape the ancient world. Alexander wasn't just a brilliant tactician on the ground, he was also a student of the skies. Historical accounts suggest that he and his advisors used their knowledge of celestial patterns to time their movements with precision. By understanding the positions of the stars, they could predict the length of the night, plan surprise maneuvers under the cover of darkness, and even use the moon's phases to their advantage. This celestial insight allowed Alexander to outmaneuver his enemies, striking when they least expected it and securing a victory that would echo through history. But why did the stars hold such power in ancient warfare? It wasn't just about timing or navigation. For many cultures, the night sky was a map of divine will, a way to interpret the favor or disfavor of the gods. Commanders who could read the celestial signs were seen as blessed, their decisions guided by forces beyond mortal understanding. This psychological edge was as important as any physical advantage. An army led by a leader who could speak the language of the heavens inspired confidence and fear in equal measure. Beyond Alexander, other cultures also harnessed the stars for military strategy. The Romans, for instance, often consulted astrologers before major campaigns, believing that celestial omens could predict the outcome of battles. Even earlier, the Babylonians, with their advanced astronomical knowledge, used star charts to plan the timing of their military expeditions, ensuring they moved under the most auspicious skies. What's fascinating is how these ancient practices blur the line between science and superstition. While modern warfare relies on satellites and GPS, the ancients trusted the stars as their ultimate guide. Their ability to interpret the night sky wasn't just a skill, it was an art, one that transformed the chaos of battle into a calculated dance of strategy and intuition. So the next time you look up at the night sky, consider this: those same stars that guided ancient armies still shine above us today. They remind us that the heavens have always been more than a source of wonder. They've been a tool, a teacher, and a silent partner in humanity's greatest endeavors. But what happens when the wisdom of the past meets the tools of the present? Ancient star mapping, once the domain of stargazers who relied on nothing more than their eyes and simple instruments, continues to shape how we explore the cosmos today. These early astronomers, armed with nothing but patience and precision, laid the groundwork for modern astronomy in ways that might surprise you. Take, for instance, the ancient Greek astronomer Hipparchus, who created one of the earliest known star catalogues over 2,000 years ago. His meticulous records of celestial positions became a cornerstone for later astronomers, including Ptolemy. Fast forward to today, and researchers still reference these ancient catalogues to study long-term changes in the night sky. By comparing the positions of stars recorded by Hipparchus with modern observations, scientists can track the subtle movements of stars over centuries, a phenomenon known as proper motion. It's like having a time machine for the cosmos, allowing us to witness the slow dance of the universe unfold. But it's not just about data, it's about perspective. Ancient astronomers observed the heavens without the aid of telescopes or satellites, relying instead on patterns and intuition. This stripped-down approach teaches us something profound: the value of patience and careful observation. In an age where we can capture images of distant galaxies with the click of a button, there's something humbling about revisiting the methods of those who charted the stars by hand. Their work reminds us that sometimes the most groundbreaking discoveries come not from technology, but from the way we choose to look at the world. Modern astronomy owes a debt to these early pioneers, not just for their data, but for their mindset. They saw the night sky as a storybook filled with constellations that told tales of gods, heroes, and mythical creatures. While we may no longer interpret the stars through the lens of mythology, their legacy lives on in the way we seek to understand the universe. From the naming of celestial objects to the way we map the heavens, the fingerprints of ancient star mappers are everywhere. And perhaps that's the greatest lesson of all, that the quest to understand the cosmos is a journey that transcends time, connecting us to those who first looked up and wondered. As we stand on the brink of a new era in space exploration, The future of star mapping is poised to be nothing short of revolutionary. Imagine a world where the night sky is no longer a mystery waiting to be unraveled, but a vast, intricate map that we can navigate with precision. This is not just a dream. It's a reality being shaped by cutting-edge technology and our insatiable curiosity about the universe. One of the most exciting developments is the role of artificial intelligence in reshaping how we map the stars. AI algorithms are now capable of processing astronomical data at speeds and scales that were unimaginable just a few decades ago. These systems can sift through petabytes of information from telescopes, identifying patterns, anomalies, and even predicting the behavior of celestial objects. For example, AI has already been used to detect exoplanets' worlds orbiting distant stars by analyzing tiny dips in starlight. As these technologies evolve, we could uncover thousands, if not millions, of new star systems, each with its own unique stories to tell. Space telescopes, too, are pushing the boundaries of what we know. Instruments like the James Webb Space Telescope are giving us unprecedented views of the cosmos, peering into the farthest reaches of space and time. These observatories are not just capturing stunning images, they're collecting data that helps us understand the birth of stars, the formation of galaxies, and even the origins of the universe itself. With every new mission, we're gaining tools to map the heavens in greater detail than ever before. But the future of star mapping isn't just about technology, it's also about collaboration. Projects like the Gaia mission, which aims to create a three-dimensional map of our galaxy, are bringing together scientists from around the world to share knowledge and resources. This global effort is expanding our understanding of the Milky Way, revealing its structure, history, and the countless stars that call it home. As these collaborations grow, so too will our ability to explore and map the cosmos. What's truly thrilling is the potential for discovery. As we refine our star maps, we're likely to find celestial phenomena that challenge our understanding of the universe. From mysterious dark matter to the enigmatic nature of black holes, each new discovery could rewrite the textbooks. And who knows, we might even find evidence of life beyond Earth, hidden in the data we're collecting today. The future of star mapping is a journey into the unknown, guided by the tools and technologies we're developing right now. It's a reminder that the night sky, far from being a static backdrop, is a dynamic, ever-changing canvas waiting to be explored. And as we continue to push the boundaries of what's possible, one thing is certain: the stars will always have more secrets to share. Now that we've explored the ancient traditions and mysteries of star mapping, why not bring some of that celestial magic into your own life? Creating your own star map is easier than you might think, and it's a wonderful way to connect with the night sky in a personal and meaningful way. Let's walk through the process step by step so you can craft a star map that's uniquely yours. First, you'll need to decide on the purpose of your star map. Are you marking a special date, like a birthday or anniversary, or simply capturing the stars as they appear on a particular night? This will guide everything from the tools you use to the final design. For beginners, all you really need is a clear night, a bit of patience, and a basic understanding of the constellations. If you're not sure where to start, there are plenty of free resources online that can help you identify the major stars and patterns visible from your location. Next, consider using a star chart or a stargazing app to make the process even smoother. Apps like Skyview or Star Walk allow you to point your smartphone at the sky and instantly see the names and positions of stars, planets, and constellations. They're incredibly user-friendly and perfect for those just starting out. Once you've familiarized yourself with the night sky, you can begin sketching your map. You don't need to be an artist, just a simple outline of the constellations and their relative positions will do. If you're feeling adventurous, you can add notes about the brightness of stars or any celestial events you observe, like meteor showers or the passing of a planet. For those who want to take it a step further, consider investing in a planisphere, a rotating star chart that helps you map the sky for any date and time. These tools are especially useful if you're creating a map to commemorate a specific moment. Once your sketch is complete, you can transfer it to a more polished format, like a digital design or a hand-drawn illustration. There are even online tools that let you input your star data and generate a professional-looking map in minutes. The beauty of creating your own star map lies in its personal touch. You're not just replicating the night sky, you're capturing a moment in time, a memory, or a feeling. Whether you frame it as a keepsake, use it as a guide for future stargazing, or simply enjoy the process of connecting with the cosmos, this is your chance to bring the stars down to Earth. So grab a notebook, step outside, and let the night sky inspire you. Who knows, you might just discover a new passion for the stars along the way. As we explore the ancient art of star mapping, it's impossible to ignore the ethical questions that arise when modern practices intersect with centuries-old traditions. Star mapping isn't just a scientific endeavor, it's a cultural treasure deeply rooted in the beliefs, stories, and identities of countless civilizations. But as we look to the stars with new tools and technologies, how do we ensure we're respecting the wisdom of those who came before us? One of the most pressing concerns is the risk of cultural appropriation. Many of the star maps and celestial systems we study today were created by indigenous cultures, often as sacred tools for navigation, timekeeping, or spiritual guidance. When these traditions are adopted or adapted without proper acknowledgement or understanding, it can strip them of their meaning and significance. Imagine a constellation map that once told the story of a community's ancestors being repurposed as a trendy tattoo design or a corporate logo. This isn't just a loss of respect, it's a loss of heritage. But there's another layer to this conversation, the commercialization of celestial knowledge. In recent years, companies have begun selling everything from personalized star charts to exclusive stargazing experiences, often capitalizing on the mystique of ancient star mapping practices. While this can make celestial knowledge more accessible, it also raises questions about who benefits from these ventures and who gets left behind. Are we commodifying something that was never meant to be owned? And how do we balance the desire to share this knowledge with the need to protect its cultural integrity? The answer lies in collaboration and respect. By working directly with indigenous communities and cultural custodians, we can ensure that their voices are heard and their traditions honored. This might mean seeking permission before using sacred symbols, sharing the financial benefits of commercialization, or simply taking the time to learn the stories behind the stars. Modern science doesn't have to exist in opposition to ancient wisdom. In fact, the two can enrich each other in profound ways. At its core, star mapping is about connection. It's about understanding our place in the universe and the stories that bind us to the cosmos. As we continue to explore the skies, let's do so with a sense of responsibility, not just to the stars, but to the people who first taught us how to read them. By honoring the past, we can create a future where the stars shine brighter for everyone. Long before we had satellites or modern technology to track the Earth's climate, ancient civilizations were observing the skies, mapping the stars, and recording their movements with astonishing precision. These star maps, etched into stone, painted on temple walls, or carefully preserved in manuscripts, aren't just relics of the past. They're a window into how our planet's environment has shifted over thousands of years. Imagine this, the same stars that guided sailors and marked the seasons for ancient cultures also hold clues to understanding climate change today. When we look at these ancient star maps, we're not just seeing patterns of light in the sky. We're seeing a record of how the Earth's axis wobbles over time, a phenomenon known as axial precession. This slow, rhythmic shift changes the position of the stars in the night sky over centuries, and it's also linked to long-term climate cycles. For example, the ancient Greeks and Babylonians documented the positions of certain constellations at specific times of the year. When we compare their observations to modern star charts, we can see subtle differences that reveal how the Earth's tilt and orbit have changed over millennia. But it's not just about the stars themselves. Ancient cultures often tied celestial events to their environment. The rising of certain stars marked the beginning of planting seasons or the onset of monsoons. When these patterns shifted, it often signaled changes in weather or climate. Take the Maya, for instance. Their detailed star maps and calendars not only tracked celestial movements, but also correlated them with droughts and other environmental shifts. By studying these records, modern scientists can piece together a timeline of historical climate events, helping us understand how natural cycles have influenced our planet's climate long before industrialization. This connection between the stars and the Earth's environment isn't just a fascinating historical footnote, it's a powerful tool for addressing today's climate challenges. By combining ancient star maps with modern climate data, researchers can identify patterns that span thousands of years, offering insights into how the Earth's climate has naturally fluctuated and how human activity has accelerated these changes. It's a reminder that the past holds valuable lessons for the future, and that by looking to the stars, we might just find the guidance we need to navigate the challenges of a changing world. But star mapping wasn't just about navigation or predicting the seasons. It was also deeply intertwined with spirituality. For ancient cultures, the stars weren't merely points of light in the sky. They were a celestial tapestry woven with meaning, connecting the earthly realm to the divine. Imagine standing under a vast, open sky, gazing upward as countless stars shimmer above you. To our ancestors, this wasn't just a scientific observation. It was a sacred experience, a moment of communion with something greater than themselves. In many traditions, the stars were seen as messengers or even the dwelling places of gods and spirits. The ancient Egyptians, for instance, believed that the souls of their pharaohs ascended to the heavens, becoming stars that watched over the living. Similarly, in Mesopotamian culture, the night sky was considered a divine blueprint, a map laid out by the gods to guide humanity. These beliefs weren't just poetic, they shaped entire worldviews, influencing rituals, architecture, and even the way people understood their place in the cosmos. This spiritual connection to the stars wasn't limited to one region or era. Indigenous cultures across the Americas, Africa, and Asia also saw the heavens as a bridge between the mortal and the eternal. The Lakota people, for example, spoke of the Milky Way as the path of souls, a road traveled by spirits on their journey to the afterlife. In Hindu cosmology, the stars were part of a vast, interconnected universe where every celestial body played a role in maintaining cosmic balance. These perspectives remind us that star mapping wasn't just a technical skill. It was a way of understanding the universe as a living, breathing entity full of mystery and meaning. So what can we take from these ancient beliefs today? For one, they invite us to look at the night sky not just as a collection of stars, but as a source of wonder and reflection. In a world that often feels disconnected, the stars offer a timeless reminder of our shared humanity and our place within the cosmos. They challenge us to think beyond the material, to consider the deeper questions of existence, and to find our own sense of connection to something greater. Whether you see the stars as divine, symbolic, or simply awe-inspiring, they have the power to spark a sense of awe and curiosity that transcends time and culture. This spiritual dimension of star mapping isn't just about looking outward, it's also about looking inward. It's an invitation to pause, to reflect, and to find meaning in the vastness above us. Perhaps in doing so, we can rediscover a sense of unity with the universe, just as our ancestors did thousands of years ago. As we reach the end of our exploration into the ancient art of star mapping beyond the zodiac, it's impossible not to feel a sense of wonder at how deeply the stars have shaped human history. These celestial patterns etched into the night sky are more than just a backdrop to our lives. They're a bridge connecting us to the past, present, and future. From the earliest astronomers who charted the heavens to the modern stargazers who continue to uncover new mysteries, the stars have always been a source of inspiration, guidance, and awe. What makes this ancient practice so timeless is its universality. Whether you're standing beneath a clear desert sky or peering through a telescope in a bustling city, the stars remind us of something profound, that we are all part of something much larger. They invite us to look up, to dream, and to question. And while the zodiac is a familiar starting point, the stories and systems that stretch beyond it reveal an even richer tapestry of human creativity and connection to the cosmos. So, what's next for you? Whether you're someone who's been mapping the stars for years or someone who's just beginning to notice the constellations for the first time, the night sky is an open invitation. It's a place where curiosity is rewarded, where every glance upward can spark a new discovery. And who knows, maybe the next great celestial mystery is waiting for you to uncover it. Before you go, share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever tried star mapping? What do the stars mean to you? Let's keep the conversation going. And if you've enjoyed this journey through the cosmos, don't forget to subscribe and join us for more celestial adventures. The universe is vast and there's so much more to explore. Until next time, keep looking up.